Guys, I've just returned from my first gym sesh, like proper gym sesh back, and I feel so good. I did walk in and I was going to do a leg session, but I couldn't because it was so busy and I didn't really want to wait. But I did a good upper body session. It just takes me a couple of days to get back into it, and I've just made myself some protein pancakes. And I'm just so excited. Yeah, I'm going to do this little talk to you guys about my nutrition for the next couple of weeks. So we'll just go over everything to do with that. And it's just going to be such an amazing day today. So good to be out of lockdown life. We're in this tier system. If you're in the UK, you'll know about it. But yeah, I'm just so happy. As promised, I thought we would sit down and have a little chat about my diet and what I'm going to be doing the next couple of weeks. So obviously, as I've mentioned, I am now about 16 weeks away from my competition next year in March the 13th. And what I'm going to be doing is changing my macro intake and also my overall calorie intake the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how my body adjusts. So it's really important if you are prepping or say wanting to lose body fat that you do start to track what you're eating, because otherwise it's very difficult to be accurate with the amount you're eating. And if you want to obviously lose weight, then you do need to be in some kind of calorie deficit. As well as that, with the nature of what I'm doing, obviously I'm competing in a fitness model competition, and so I will be looking at looking to reduce body fat. So I want to try and maintain as much muscle mass as possible, and so that means it's really important that I am eating enough protein within my diet. So I'm obviously in a deficit, but I'm not actually losing too much of the weight coming from muscle. So what I will be doing is looking at being around 2001 to 200 calories a day. I have pretty much throughout, I have actually tracked roughly where I've been, not actually aiming for a specific number. I've just kind of been eating during lockdown as I normally would, and most days I've got, well, I'm eating around like 2,300 to 2,600 calories a day. So I'm gonna start off at around 2,100 to 200 calories, because I don't want to be so hungry that I'm constantly thinking, oh god, I just eat something. So that will put me in a deficit, and then I'm going to increase my protein to 180 grams of protein a day, which is pretty high, but I'm doing that for a couple of reasons. I've looked at various studies and they suggest that if you keep your protein intake high, then you can still feel a little bit fuller and maintain that muscle mass, as I've said. And 2,100 to 200 calories is still like a reasonable amount of food. You know, it's not that low. A lot of people, when they're in the deficit, will have to be on like 1,800 calories. But you know, I'm quite active during the day. Well, I'm not. The nature of my job, because I'm an online coach, is that I'm quite stationary, but I'm quite active because I normally do like 2 sessions and go on walks and things in a day. In terms of carbohydrate, I'm going to try and time my carbohydrate, which I haven't really done that much before, but I'm going to time it around my training time. In particular my weight sessions, so not really so much cardio, it doesn't really matter quite so much, especially if I'm doing like slow steady state. But if I'm doing a hard weight session, which I will be, you know, probably about 5 days a week, then I want to make sure that I'm energized before my session, so I'm having some carbohydrates obviously before, and then the majority of my carbohydrates almost, not necessarily immediately after, but you know, within a good time period after I work out, just so my body utilizes that carbohydrate as best as it can. In terms of fat, you do need a minimum amount of fat in your diet for hormonal function. So I'm going to be around like the kind of 50 gram mark of fat, about about 240 I'm aiming for grams of carbs, and then roughly 180, maybe even a little bit more of the protein, which I know some of you guys are going to be like, extremely high, you don't need that much protein, blah blah blah, but I've looked at various studies, and yeah, I know personally my body responds really well to protein. It does help with my satiety, and I won't then be adding additional kind of body fat. I want to be reducing that a little bit. So that is kind of my current starting point. We will see how that goes the next couple of weeks. Obviously I am going to be documenting every day so I can let you guys know how I'm feeling, and yeah, we just kind of see, you know, obviously I don't want to lose too much at this point because we're still quite far out, and I don't normally start prepping until about 8 weeks before. So I'm giving myself this nice kind of period of December just to try this kind of approach out, see how my body responds to it, and then come January it's going to be like, this is it. Like proper time to actually knuckle down to things. I'll probably try and keep my last meal with not too much carbohydrate, because I know, again, if I have carbohydrate in the evening I then get quite hungry in the night, just because it spikes my insulin levels. So I'll probably make my last meal predominantly protein and fat. Other than that, I'm going to try and spread my meals out into about 5 to 6 meals throughout the day, having around like 30 grams of protein per meal. And then, as I've explained, carbs around training times. I might have like 1 or 2 other carb meals, but not my last meal of the day. So I know it sounds quite complicated. It's not that complicated, or it's not as complicated as it sounds, and I will some point this week do a full day of eating. I'll probably film it, you know, the day before so I can post it as the Vlogmas days go on, so you guys know roughly what I'm eating, because it will stay fairly similar throughout the next couple of weeks. So guys, I feel like today's vlog is basically just me telling you how much I love going to the gym, but I am gonna go and do cardio with the Stairmaster. This is basically my cardio of choice, so I'm gonna start implementing this back into my daily routine, as well as trying to get in, I don't think I've got in that many steps today. Oh, I've only gotten 12,000 steps. I thought I'd only gotten about 7,000. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to try and get in like 15,000 a day and implement like probably about 20 minutes of Stairmaster for now. As I said, my calories are still going to be high. I'm not on like a serious cut at the moment. I'm just going to see how my body responds to calories around 2,200 calories a day, and then we'll go from there. But December, you know, obviously we've got Christmas coming up, and I've still got 16 less, maybe slightly less, 16 weeks to my competition. But for me that's a very long time, as I normally only prep in like 8-week period. I'm already fairly lean. But that's today's video really. I did just get into town again, and I completely forgot about this Christmas tree, but I just went into a coffee shop to do some work, because now coffee shops are back open. So life is great. Gyms are open, coffee shops are open, that's what I need. So yeah, we'll leave it there, and I will see you for Vlogmas day 3. Oh, my hands, yeah, don't even look at my hands. Proper weightlifting hands, that's what we call them. So have a lovely day, evening, whatever time of the day you are, and now I finally got this camera situation sorted as well. So the next time in the gym it won't be like super bright, but yeah, bye guys.